Hello farmers and welcome back to Pichonniere Valley on Farming Simulator 25. Hopefully everyone's having a good Tuesday so far. Hello John, Miles, Crystal, FS Farmer, welcome. Hope you guys had a nice weekend. We are running along with Francine right now. She's just about done with the first mowing contract. I'm glad I logged on early because I kind of forgot the last time I streamed this that I had 2 mowing contracts that I accepted. So the first one's just about done. We'll get them working on the next grass field. And while they're mowing that grass field, we got some farm work to do in our yard anyways. So, yeah, don't worry. We're not going to be mowing other people's farms' grass. We got plenty of grass to mow ourselves because we're going to be getting to July. I'm thinking pretty quickly today. And of course, as you know, we got 3 grass fields of our own. Well, 2 grass fields, 1 alfalfa field. Currently sitting at $37,000 in the bank account, which is not too bad considering how we've been spending money recently. Okay, so you are done with this job. Great. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Get on down to the next contract. Get you started. And then I can get into our yard and start taking care of some things. Make sure we sneak out of here and close the gate. Got to be polite, even though I think I'm the only one working in this field, doing all the grass contracts. Let's go ahead and collect that one for $10,468. All right, let's throw the beacon on. Let people know the hazard that's coming on down the road, which is me behind the wheel. So, also, pretty early in the stream today, we got to sell our silage bales, so that should be a good $40,000. I was also looking at our animals. The cow barn is actually filling with milk pretty quick. Although, I'm thinking that cow barn just doesn't hold that much milk to begin with. But, yeah, we do got about 19,000 liters of milk already piled up, so probably be selling that. We got to take care of the eggs at the spawn point for the chicken pen. The eggs are piling up, so we need to move those so we got more spawn, room for them to spawn. Our grass fields, alfalfa fields, need to be fertilized because we mowed it in April and we are in May, so they are all set to be done. Let's go get our Mercedes and our Batwing mower into field number 12. So there was another hot fix to Farming Simulator 25 today. I haven't really read the patch notes. I think this is like the 2nd or 3rd hot fix since the last update. So, not really sure what's happening. But at least whatever the issues are, they are addressing it. I was hemming and hawing quite a bit this morning, trying to figure out what I wanted to stream. And honestly, I just wasn't feeling any of the games I was looking to, like, oh yeah, I really want to dive into this, dive into that. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Haven't done Pichonniere Valley in about a week. So I figured, well, we better come on here and get this done. Alright, let's get ourselves, let's turn off the beacon. Lower the mower, turn that on. And get ourselves a course really quick. Let's see, 7 meters, 4 headlands, 0% overlap. That's good. And away they go. About 20 minutes for them to get that done. Hello, Clyde. Welcome. Hope you have a nice Tuesday. Yes, 1.58 did drop for ATS earlier today. Also, recently I got a message, speaking of American Truck Simulator, I got a message from Patrick. And Patrick is the one who makes the mods for Realistic Economy, the Minimal Advisory Screen, the traffic that we do in our Realistic Economy series. And from the looks of things, it looks like Patrick is not going to be doing any more mods or updating their mods for ATS or Euro Truck. So I'm not really sure what that means as of yet. But, you know, I'll have to log in to see what mods of his are compatible 1.58. I probably realize, like, the minimal advisory screen in ATS or Euro Truck is not going to work at all, because that was kind of one of the big UI things that they came out with patch 1.58. I'm hoping the realistic economy mod works. I hope their his traffic mod works. But yeah, don't expect, if you got any mods from Patrick, to be updated for patch 1.58. Or in the near future, or at all. So, got my fingers crossed. So these bales right now, they're not fully fermented. I think they're like 90 some odd % done. But I got to get them off the field so I can come in here with our slurry tanker and sprayer to get the fertilizer down. I think these fields probably also need some lime at this point. Are there any bales over there? Does not look like it. So I'm not sure when I'm going to dive into patch 1.58 for ATS. I am kind of waiting for the Valentine's Day event to get going, which should be, I would expect, in a day or two. And I'll probably try to live stream it when it does come out. But this week is kind of a... My schedule for this week is just off, because with all the other real life stuff I got going on. So that's why I didn't stream yesterday. I know when I was streaming Saturday, I kind of said, well, Monday it might be 50-50 if I'll stream. And yeah, I didn't even get home until... if I started streaming yesterday when I got home, it would be after the time I usually finish my stream. So yeah, I did not get even home in time for anything yesterday. I'm not even sure if I'm going to have an episode of Shamburgo going out tomorrow, because I don't know if I'm going to have time to get that done. But we'll see what happens later on this evening. So this is our alfalfa field. I'm pretty sure Coast to Coast will have an update relatively quick, because I don't think there were any map updates on the borders of the map. So I think Mantrid would kind of get that updated relatively soon. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen if the realistic economy mod does not work. I think I know how I can make it work for patch 1.58. It's been a while since I've had to do that. That is the main mod for us in that series. Now let's go ahead and just park this right here for now. All right, let's go grab the... let's go ahead and grab the lime spreader, and we'll do that first. Actually, it's been so long, I don't even remember, does any of my fields need to be soil sampled? Let's go to here, and then here. No, we're good on soil sampling. Why is my score... There's yeah, there's precision farming doing it again. So last time I cut the alfalfa grass, it did not register the nitrogen at all. The lime is low, but that's probably my fault. And yeah, those fields are kind of terrible on the lime as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and top this off with some wonderful lime. Playing Farm Sim, so not tempted to throw remote control at the screen. As SnowRunner is, you know, can do that to you every once in a while. I was leaning towards SnowRunner today, but my brain is just not focused enough to try to get into SnowRunner today. I was like, I think I better stick to a game where I can kind of just if I'm not paying attention, it's not going to matter too much. Yes, and mods do have a tendency to spoil us now and then. It is this, you know, when I read that message from Patrick, I kind of get it by not wanting to try to keep updating the mods for the game that they're in. And especially, like they said, for a game that they don't play that much anymore. Yeah, the passion is not there for the work that you're trying to do for fun, then, yeah, I see no issue with them not wanting to do mods anymore. When I talked to Alien Jim about it, when FS25 was coming out, I fully understood why he didn't want to be involved with doing mods at that time for Farming Simulator. But he did kind of leave the door open a little bit about maybe at some point coming back, but as he said, he says he has no intentions to, but he's not going to just say never say never. So all we can do as players is just be appreciative of the mods that we do have and get. And yeah, if the modders that you love happen to kind of fade away into the distance, just know that, well, other modders will come along that you will find that you may enjoy with their mods. And yeah, just be grateful for the modders, because it takes a lot of time and effort to make mods. It's so easy to get frustrated when an update comes out to a game. It's like, oh, well, this mod doesn't work. They need to get that fixed. And it's like, you do realize they do that mostly for fun. I mean, I get a little bit of that as well once in a while when someone asks me why I stopped playing a game. I should keep on doing it. It's like, I've lost all interest in fun in the game. And I don't think it's going to be fun for you to sit there and watch me just kind of play the game with no enthusiasm. As much as enthusiasm as I have. But, yeah. It's just, if your passion's there and it's just a game and the passion's gone, yeah, you need to find something else to do. There's Sam's tennis ball in the middle of the road, like always. Hello, MTK Sim Farmer. Welcome. Hope the weather is nice in Finland today. I know yesterday when I was headed outside in the morning, I was like, I picked the wrong day to schedule my stuff because it was negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday morning when I was leaving the house. Don't know what that is in Celsius, but it's cold. I mean, it wasn't too bad if you were outside just for a few minutes because there was no wind, no breeze, but at negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit, yeah, it's like I always say, that's always better than a cup of coffee to wake up in the morning to. Oh, for those that like my time at Porsche and Sandrock series, I think I got a little bit of information about my time at Evershine. That is, I'm not saying it's close, but I'm thinking, you know, they're really getting things together and put together, and hopefully I'm kind of hoping that maybe early summer, maybe some early access on that. Pretty warm, minus 5 degrees Celsius, so that's got to be like about what, like mid to upper 20 degrees Fahrenheit. But again, weather's all relative. I don't know what your usual kind of weather is for this time of the year. Because that's what the temperature is here. Temperature here is 25 degrees Fahrenheit right now, and for early to mid-February, that's probably usually about the average temperature, maybe a little bit on the higher side. So it's a good day out there. I'm just already set for spring. I'm already tired of the snow. But yeah, we got a ways to go before before that happens. But the days are getting longer. The daylight hours are getting longer, which is nice. Yeah, this fuel was very low on lime. So currently for the farm, financially we're doing pretty well at this point. Again, in this series, we started with absolutely nothing and not allowed to take loans, and we can't borrow and lease equipment. So we've done pretty well for ourselves, I do believe. But I think currently, financially, what we're kind of saving up for is a tedder, windrower, TMR mixer, so we can give our cattle proper TMR. And we're also looking forward to, in the long run, buy a production building, and both of them are at 300,000 plus. So that's a big expense, something that's not going to happen right away, of course. Yeah, I'm not going to have enough lime to get this job done. Alright, luckily lime is cheap. Hello, Bob. Welcome. Hope you've been well. And Panther, welcome. Don't know how many saw yesterday's episode of Shamburgo, but we have mixed it up on that series a little bit. We bought ourselves an olive orchard, I will call it. The olive trees. And learning a little bit on how to do those all over again. And not so much on actually how to farm it, but how to do it with precision farming is the question I got a little bit. Alright, so those are those fields limed. I should have limed my wheat and canola field when I planted it last fall, but I forgot to. So we'll have to get those fields done after we harvest them and get them set for next year. Looks like I'm hitting my wheelbarrow. I hate short trailers. They turn so quick. Alright, slurry tanker. We're going to do cow slurry on the 2 small grass fields. And we'll do artificial fertilizer in the alfalfa field. So, in last stream, we did put down ourselves a manure pit. We are able to come in here with a trailer. Looks like you guys are low on some straw, aren't you? But yeah, we are allowed to come in here with our trailer and refill with the manure that way, and then we're putting the manure into here. At some point, we'll get ourselves a manure spreader. Is the slurry not being... Oop. There we go. Helps if you actually hit the on button. There, by putting down the lime first, now it's easier to see where I fertilized. Thought the cow manure was automatically transferred. Uh, well, yeah. If you put down the correct manure pit, it will be automatically transferred. But I did not want to do that here, so I did not put down the silo extension manure pit. I just put down a uh, manure pit. I want to go in and do it. This series is about doing things more manually and, getting away from all the teleportation stuff, super strength, not doing any of that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're going into the cow barn and removing it and then putting it into the pit. But if I got the manure heap extension, I wouldn't have to do that, but that's not what I did here. Oops, I am out of manure. So now we started off with just 20 cattle, and those 20 cattle have now given up some offspring. So now we got 40 cattle, so hopefully we can get a little bit more slurry. So when we start doing our grass fields, I have enough to actually get them complete. Kind of going through the telephone poles. And our contract has completed, so we'll be able to collect on that. I think that's a little over 6,000 for that one. So by the end of the month, we should be somewhere up around $90,000. Not going to have enough slurry to finish off this field, I don't think. Especially if you keep hitting telephone poles. Alright, so the rest will have to be done with artificial fertilizer. I got very little left in the cow barn. It's not worth going over to grab it. I do not think. Yeah, 2,000 liters, so we'll get the John Deere 710 and finish up. Well, I think the majority of players don't want to clean out their animals, cows, sheep, goats, horses, that kind of thing. Drop that off there. Let's grab the Mercedes so we can collect on this contract. Let's close this barbed wire fence. Be careful you don't grab the wrong thing. Yeah, it used to be, though, for cleaning out the pens, it would be where the feed trough is, where you would clean it out because they would spill their food out, and also you would pick up the manure that way as well. You know what, the mower is looking kind of trashy. Let's go ahead and clean that up a bit. Chicken wants a little bit of a bath. Come here, get back here. Give you guys a little bit of a rinse. You too. And of course my guy always grabs a pressure washer. Okay, 710. And to the alfalfa field. Then we can go sell our silage at the BGA. Yeah, with the sheep in 17 and 19, it seemed like their spillage of their grass, hay, or whatever you were feeding them, it seemed like they spilled out the same amount as they were eating. So when you put it back in, it almost seemed like they weren't eating anything. But then most people like myself with that system got them the Lely automated cleaning system. I didn't mind. It seemed like every Let's Play I did, or when I played back then, anytime I started a new map, I did not mind cleaning out the feed troughs and such. But after I got more stuff to do on the farm, it was like, yeah, I don't want to be bothered with that. So, yeah, it was kind of a mixed thing of did I like doing it or not doing it. I guess it depended on the situation. So hopefully when we cut the alfalfa field this time, it registers the fertilizer in the ground. Hopefully when I do harvest in every field this year, it registers the nitrogen in the ground. So after these fields will be cut, like always in July, we cut our grass and alfalfa fields in April, July, and October. And luckily right now our cows don't require that much silage, so we're able to sell, at least this year, the first two cuts, all the silage bales will be sold. But by the time I do the last cut of the year, some of those silage bales will need to be kept. And maybe by then we'll have everything that we need to make TMR. But if I just keep on feeding them silage, that's okay too, because that's still 80%. I think last time I did this field with the slurry, and that could be why it's not needing as much fertilizer. Alright, grass fields are all set. mind the chickens, but they don't mind me, so we'll just go ahead and go on in. And we'll grab the Mercedes, since I'm right next to it. And I'm sure these bales have all fermented. And we know that by, if I don't see grass or alfalfa, which I do not, then all these bales are all set. Yep, throw on the beacon. So it should be about 40 grand for these bales. And yes, I do believe the Times Savings Checks mod is a PC only mod that you can use. You could put down max fertilizer by turning auto and it will last 3 or 4 cuts. There's no penalty for too much. I think there is a slight penalty for putting down too much fertilizer. But I think it's only like 1 to 2% negative yield. It is very little. Not really noticeable too much. I found that out on Kingley when I was doing it. But then again, it is precision farming, and precision farming is not working at 100%, so whoever knows that those percentage rates are that accurate anyways. But if I over fertilize the field, and I was testing it by making sure the field was always limed, but as we know, also lime spreading is not as even either, so that could be part of it. I was also looking when I logged on today, and I got that grass mowing contract started, the first one. I came over to this field just to see about this field to our left. So I thought, maybe I'll buy another field. But they got corn growing in that one. And the other field I have my eye on, there is nothing in that field. So, yeah, I'm going to wait and see what happens. Sure, I need to move some eggs. Got to move some eggs before we move on. I don't want to wake up in the next month and find out I did not leave enough space for our eggs to spawn. Oh no, here we go. I got myself in a dicey situation. Kind of stuck in here. It's one way to move the trailer over. Just move it more over to the side, attach to it, and I'll slide it over. Yeah, I'm also restricting myself. Again, no super strength unless it's absolutely necessary. And no autoloaders. The 3650 with the front loader is down here. But I am going to bring up a straw bale. Let's go ahead and grab just any old bale. Yep, there's a rock cliff behind you. Gonna go from no straw to where it looks like it's gonna be completely full. Straw is at 21,000. Let's go grab another bale. It'll take it all and leave just a little bit left. I'm gonna grab this one down here by these silage bales. Hello, LOC. I don't know if I should say LOC or Lock. I'm never quite sure about that. But I think that was you that just rated. Very much appreciated. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Had a good stream. Alright. Wrong side. There we go. Now we got plenty of straw. The little calf is happy as heck. I need to start figuring out where I'm going to put the eggs. Because obviously you don't want to sell them until November. But lately I've just been putting them out over here behind this other shed. Actually, no, I was putting them over here by the silo. I knew it was over here somewhere, but the second I turned, I'm like, nah, I think it was here. Someday with these eggs, we'll be making some mayo. It's half the spawn area cleaned out, so that should be good for a little while. Alright. Nice and clean. Well, I don't say nice and cleaned out, but I don't want to grab these until those are full either. I'm pretty sure they're good on food everywhere. So yeah, we're up to 19,000 liters of milk already, which is not too bad. But again, I did sell it September, October, so it's been about a half a year. Price is so-so. It's not bad, but we'll wait on it. Although I think the price is probably going to go down the rest of the summer. Next month is like the worst month before the price goes back up. So I think we should be able to make it until the price gets all the way back up there. I kind of forgot. What's in the sale page? Oh, yeah. I remember the potato planter, the header, the trailer. Now, the telehandler would be a nice thing to have on the farm. But since we got the front loader and the John Deere, not to hold off on that. But yeah, if I didn't need to save up for other things, I would be jumping on that pretty quick. I do love me a telehandler on the farm. So, yeah, I got nothing else to do. I will feed Sam because I'll probably forget as we start going through these summer months. But let's just go ahead and... Usually I check the sale page at the end of the day. We're just going to go ahead and get to the next month and see what's going on there. So June, probably nothing to do on my farm. I don't think any of the fields are going to be ready for harvest. And nothing that we want there. Yep, the canola is not... Sorry, that's the wheat. I don't think the canola is going to be ready either. And no, it is not. So, yeah, what do we got for... Oh, I did not collect on that contract. There we go. Luckily, that doesn't disappear. There's a cultivating contract, which is something I would do if I had work in my own fields to do, but we do not. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and just speed up some time here. I did not check on my animals. I was going to check to see if they have feed. The cows, I know they did. I saw the silage bales there. But what about the chickens? Chickens are good for 3.4 months. So they are fine. We don't have a semi, so that doesn't do us any good. So we're just going to skip the month because I have no work in my own fields to do. And this tractor is nice, but way over our horsepower limit on this map. So on to the next month. Okay, so July. Looks like the wheat field is ready. Nothing new in the store page. So we got some harvesting to do, which is good, other than we have our grass field, of course. But yeah, we also got our winter wheat is ready. Yep, the eggs are stacking on up. Let's just check the stock market page. And let's see what that milk price is doing, $6.82. So yeah, I think we got plenty of storage for milk, do we not? Yeah, we're fine. And we're all fine here. Yeah, so harvesting to do. Let's see what we got for contracts. Harvesting. I mean, I would not mind doing harvesting contracts. It just take forever. Some mowing contracts, but nothing too great. There is a spraying contract, and I think I'll take it just to mix up what we've been doing a little bit. And that would be a good paying job if the See and Spot sprayer does what it's supposed to do on that contract. And yeah, that is it. Let's grab the 3650 and we'll do the spraying contract first because that won't take us too long. Where was I going on that? Not too far around the corner. Oh, that's the field. That's the cornfield. So let me just drop off the weights. Nope, not that. Let's pick that back up. The weight. There we go. I can get into the field this way, right? Is there a ditch here? Might be a little bit of a bump. Thing is, though, I just realized afterwards in this corn, I'm not going to be able to see too much of where I have and have not been. Wait, I don't have... Now I do have access to the field? Okay, it's working. And plus the contract is going up as well. Yeah, I had some issues on Kingley back when that map came out in early November. And when I played on it, there were some weeding contracts with the seed spot weed sprayer where the contract wouldn't work. It would either use a herbicide and not kill the weeds, or I would kill the weeds and it would not count on the contract. Just a whole bunch of weird stuff, but it seems like so far since we left Kingley, it seems to be working. So either Giants fixed the problem or it's a map related issue. I'm not too sure. And I have no idea if the John Deere telehandler has been released either. I don't think it's been released by Giants. And I don't know if it's been released on the mod hub. So with precision farming and a see and spot weed sprayer, these spraying contracts pay very well because I'm going to probably use only like maybe $50 to $100 worth of herbicide. So it's pretty much pure profit. And not only that, depending on your sprayer, I mean, I think this is the smallest sprayer in the base game. It's a pretty wide working width. If I don't keep hitting trees. Is my pallet forks getting in the ground there? Probably should raise up the boom. Seems like this field does have a lot of weeds in it, though. Hello, Don. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Tuesday so far. Thanks for stopping on in. What it might be is that... Oh, somehow my My sprayer was lowered. That's what was dragging into the ground. Couldn't figure out why this 3650 was struggling. But this field actually had a lot of weeds in it. I might be using a little bit more than $50 to $100 worth of herbicide on this contract, but still not using too much. Hello, Ronnie. Welcome. Hope you're having a nice Tuesday. And I'm hoping this pass here will do it. If it doesn't, then I'll have to look at the map and see where I need to go. I think we're going to get it. Contract finished. Good. I didn't want to go searching for it too much, but we got it all. Not doing too bad myself, Ronnie. Thanks for asking. Oh, forgot about the ditch that's there. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I think we'll cut the grass first, then we'll harvest the winter wheat, then we will bale up the grass after that. Try to mix up the grass jobs a little bit. Put the weight back on. Let's go ahead and get some fuel in this thing. Hello, Henry. Welcome. Alrighty. Unfold the combine. And yes, we are in a swath mode. So this field definitely is going to need some lime. course, we'll do that after we bale up the straw at some point. You took all of your John Deere mods off FS25 today. Are you boycotting, or what? What's going on there with the John Deere mods? Happy you caught me live. Well, I'm glad that you are here. Appreciate anyone that stops in to give me a chance and just watch me play whatever I'm playing that particular day. Just taking up too much space. I try to at least once a month go through my mods and just delete ones I don't use, or delete mods I have used and don't plan on using again. But that's the thing about Farming Simulator, we do get an abundant amount of mods to choose from and give it a try. So if you are playing on the Pichonniere Valley map, I would definitely suggest, if you are doing the wheat and barley, make sure you do the winter wheat and barley, because the yield is about 10% better with the winter barley and wheat compared to the spring barley and wheat. I don't really have any favorites when it comes to anything. So, like, company vehicles in this game don't have a favorite. I think someone asked me last week, what's my favorite kind of car in real life? I don't have favorites. Pretty much anything. I don't have a favorite meal. I mean, my favorite color, I guess, would be green. I can almost maybe say that much. But even then, I like to mix it up. I don't just, if I have color options, I just don't always go to green, green, green. But yeah, I really don't have a favorite of anything. Let me go ahead and turn this off for a second. Let's go get our tractor and trailer. We're almost full, so no sense of going on down the line further. Get the Fendt. In the base game, you cannot plant peanuts in Farming Simulator 25, but there is modded maps out there that will allow you to plant peanuts. So we will top off the chickens with this winter wheat, and the rest will just go in the silo for storage. This is not a contract. Blame the streamer. It's always the streamer's fault. What did I do now? But yeah, it's my fault. Where do I get my music for my recorded series? There is a link in the description for that. I don't know if it's in this description or not. Epidemic Sound is where I get my music from. And for those wondering, yes, I gotta pay for that. That's why it doesn't get blocked or anything. Yeah, if you go on my recorded episodes, Bob, and you go into the description, I think it's like the last line. It'll bring you to the webpage. I think someone told me that music you can buy on some of the apps. All right, FS Farmer, thanks for stopping on in, and maybe if I remember later on in your streaming, I'll try to send the people on over afterwards. No, it wasn't really lag that you were getting there. I was on another screen. So when I click on another screen, you don't get game audio, and of course I wasn't moving the tractor either because I was checking something on another screen. I did say I was going to go cut the grass first before I got into harvesting, but here we are. It's what I do. I say I'm going to do one thing, and 5 minutes later I change the order and what I do it in. So I think with the amount of chicken feed that we have, I think this next year we might just plant crops where I can harvest it and sell it. I think I said I need about 25,000 liters per year for the chickens. And I think we got more than 50,000 liters of food. And that's before we did this harvest. So I can get 3 combine loads into this trailer. Not quite 3 combine loads, I guess. Let me collect on that contract, because I kind of forgot to do that again. And now that some more time has passed, what has come up here? Nothing new and different. Oh, you're still unloading? I'm kind of curious, is it registering the nitrogen in the harvest this year or not? That is the question. Yes, it did. And then you can see my pH level, though, is way low. There is Sam playing in the ditch by the road. At least we got some good weather in July for the wheat harvest. So maybe next year we'll plant, or for next year we'll plant some triticale and, I don't know, maybe some rye, possibly. What series is this? I'm still watching a series over 24 hours. Not quite sure I understand the question, but this series is Pichonniere Valley, and if you're watching another series, you gotta be more specific. But just like that, I guess he's gone. So, have a good day, Henry. That was a delay for the header to go on down. So basically, this field here, if I keep planting winter wheat in it every year, this field is yielding enough to feed the chickens year round. Bad pH, bad nitrogen. Nitrogen's to be expected because we're just harvested, but the pH I forgot to do last year. Okay, top off the chickens, rest into the silo. Keep forgetting, with a fenceless chicken pen, there's a huge bump there, and it's not the landscaping, it's the start of the fence area that we can't see. That chicken saw some fresh wheat coming on in and ran right over, and then just scooted on past to the silo. So I just want to reaffirm my numbers here on the chickens. So 12,000 liters is good for almost 6 months. So 12 months in a year, so that'd be 24,000. And of course, we'll add a little bit on top to get to the extra month. So yeah, about 25,000 liters a year for the chickens that we currently have. So previously in this field, I was planting spring barley, and there I was getting anywhere between 12 to 13,000 liters. Winter wheat, we're getting loads of grain, double from what we get from the spring barley. So the other field is a canola field. We're going to be storing that canola because eventually we're going to get ourselves the oil mill, and we want to make oil, and we'll be mixing the oil with our eggs at some point in a mayonnaise factory. I haven't played on the map yet, but a map called Renaboo. Graphics aren't like in 25. The grass is pretty plain and taller than alfalfa. Renaboo was a map in... that map was out in 22. I almost did a series on Renaboo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct. But that's the way I would pronounce it. Is that the map that's kind of like long and narrow in some senses? Hopefully I'm thinking of the correct map. From what I remember, I played on it for like about a couple of hours trying to see if I wanted to do a series on it. I think it would be good for like a smallish type farm kind of a map. But it also will give you the opportunity, the way the fields are, to merge them together and start with a small farm and work your way to a bigger farm. Okay, let's get this wheat protected into the silo. I think I'll grab the baler next and we'll do the straw baling. Because this is the only straw I'm going to get this year. And I think this straw here, I may just sell it. We're not going through that much straw on the cow barn at all. Kind of forgot. If you walk up to a silo, does it tell you what's in there? So yeah, I got about 3 years worth of food for the chickens in storage. So I mentioned triticale. Triticale. I can plant that in the fall. And then maybe I will keep on planting some. Maybe I'll do spelt. Can't remember if I did spelt on New Hope or not. Was it spelt or rye? It was one of the two. Maybe I'll plant rye instead. Well, we'll figure something out. Let's grab. I was like, where's my Mercedes? It's over here. Is there going to be anything in the baler? Nothing. Okay, good. These will be 20,000 liter bales that we have coming out the back of the baler. So this field will not need soil sampling because when I get out of the tractor, it does show me the nitrogen pH levels. So that means it does recognize the soil. But it will need lime. And I'll have a month or two to get the field prepped. remembered why I try to use a Fent when I do baling. Come on, give me a full bale. There we go. Just because with the round baler, I'm always stopping, backing up a little bit. Manual gears, you know. Also winter though, with the between winter and spring crops, yeah, we are seeing a yield difference. So I'm also assuming I'm getting more straw as well. Yep, someday I will probably switch out the round baler for a square one. I've been saying that on Shamburgo series as well. But on this series here, the only one I will be able to use is the Coon baler. All the other square balers require over 200 horse. That is a slight issue for me when I'm restricting no tractors over 200. And, yep, got to daydreaming. No, don't go back in the baler. Alright, I'll come back to this section later on. Don't think I'll get a full bale out of all this, but maybe half full. Oh, 40%. Not too bad, though. How many bales did I end up getting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full ones. So that's 100,000 liters, and that other one was almost half full, so about 108,000, somewhere around there. We'll stay in the Mercedes, but now we're going to grab the mower. Alright, so I want this on swath mowing. So again, just going to make this all into silage bales, which we will sell next month, bringing in about 40 grand. Yeah, that mod for slowing down, it just, I'm not saying it's a bad mod. It does what it's intended to do. I have tried it. It just does not fit. I just don't like it when it slows down. It drives me nuts. That's why I don't use it. Would it work for the issues that I have? Probably. But it's just, I don't know why, but it just annoys me. Alright, field number 1 done. At least for mowing, anyways. Precision farming. Did you recognize the nitrogen this harvest, I hope? 100%. Good. That matters because that'll hopefully get our bonus up a little bit more. I know one thing, there's a lot of deer on this map. Not going to make that corner. Still not sure if I want to flip this over to alfalfa, but definitely won't be doing it until we get our TMR mixer, just to make sure that it will take the alfalfa hay and such. Because I don't want to convert every field I have over to alfalfa and find out it doesn't work, and then I have to convert it back over to grass again. I also don't think in the future, because the alfalfa field that we do have, that is plenty big enough to keep our cows fed. And that field I could easily just make silage and hay in the same field. But then I don't know what I would do with these two fields. So if that field to our left did not have corn in it this year and it had something I could harvest with a harvester, it'd definitely be something I'd be looking at possibly buying. That field does have a decent yield for it. But at the same time, I do want to kind of save up to buy the dairy production, but that's going to be... It's going to take me a couple years to save up money once I do, so I think maybe at this point it's better just to not really purchase too much anything expensive and just save up for the $350,000 for the dairy. Because by the time I can afford it, our cows, we'll have a good amount of cows producing milk. Right now we just have 20, but again, by the time I can afford the dairy, I might have 60. Hello, gamer. Welcome. Hello, Aaron, as well. You full bad, or I think I may have missed something. I'm guessing you feel bad, 'cause I see where branding type get well soon. But I didn't see where you typed anything before that. Welcome back, Crystal. Hopefully you got all your house chores done. Ah, you're fighting COVID. I hope you have a fast recovery, Aaron. Yeah, we'll get that little piece right there. Hopefully I can get in the same swath as that one. Looks like we did. Supper's in the crock pot, huh? Yeah, it is that kind of year where crock pot meals seem more appetizing than any other time of year. You're on the roids and antibiotics. You'll never get into the Hall of Fame now, being on roids. Alright, that is the cutting of grass done for July. So of course, now we gotta bale it up and get it wrapped so it starts fermenting. And I will use the Fent for that. All right, let's keep spinning around till we find the vent. The trailer I'm going to leave right there because I think the canola harvest will happen in August. So these bales are going to be 14,000 liters apiece. Grab that little swath that's right there in the bush. So I was kind of hoping to get to the end before I filled up. I did not. I keep swapping tractors around just to keep it changing. If I just use one tractor all the time, to me that becomes dull and boring after a while. I mean, one reason is make sure you got a tractor with enough horsepower for the implement. But the Mercedes and this Fendt are pretty much equal in that sense on horsepower. But I just keep switching it up just because if I just use one tractor all day long, it seems like it's boring to me doing that. But also, as I mentioned earlier, the Fendt is a little bit better with the baler because it's got a CVT transmission, so backing up and going forward doesn't take as long than it does with the Mercedes with a manual transmission. If you gotta start talking about food, you're gonna start to probably get me hungry because I have not ate nothing yet today. Well, now I'm thinking about food a little bit. I'm not sure what I'd be really hungry for today. I think it's going to be one of those days where I'm going to go into the kitchen and just stare inside the refrigerator and the cabinets trying to figure out what I want to eat. Yeah, it's no problem, Crystal. Tell us anyways. I said I might get hungry. I may not get hungry. I don't know. I was kind of this way all this morning before the stream. I was like, I should eat something. And I just, I'm in one of those moods, say, where I'm kind of hungry, but not hungry enough for anything that's appetizing at all. Chicken green beans stuffing made with chicken broth. Sounds good, but yep, that's not going to make me hungry. So, I feel like it's going to be one of those days where I'm not going to eat until like 9 o'clock at night or something. So these alfalfa bales that we are creating, no, we're not going to get alfalfa silage. It goes right over to base game silage. Well, as far as CVT transmissions in Farming Simulator go, they're a lot better than manual transmissions. You had a Prius for 12 years. I apologize to you, John. Hello, Blue Streak. Hope you've been well. Yeah, I'm sure it was, John. Just to say, personally, I do not. I mean, I've only ever had pickup trucks, and I drive four-door sedans or smaller cars. It just personally, I cannot stand them. Maybe because I'm kind of on the tall side. Getting in and out of those type of cars always just drives me nuts. It's just not my type of car, though. Unless it's a pickup truck, it's not my type of car. And of course, it didn't have a V8. Well, Prius does not need a V8. You don't buy a Prius for a V8 engine. I mean, also for another reason, for where I live, if you don't have a four-wheel drive, winter is going to really suck for you. All these lovely marshmallows that we always keep on making. Yeah, every car has its purpose. Just like in farming, why do farmers have all these different type of tractors? Well, this tractor's for that type of job, this tractor's for that type of job. The big downside of always being the one that has a pickup truck is anytime someone that you know or that knows you that needs something moved or whatever, all of a sudden you're on high priority. If your phone starts ringing and it's someone that doesn't usually call you often, it's like, yeah, I wonder what they want moved. Alright, that is all the swaths. So let's empty out the last of this alfalfa. And midday in August, these will be ready to be sold. Okay, let's go ahead and put this back on the trailer because I think the canola harvest is next on my list. Boy, sale page is not changing much in the middle of summer, is it? Not at all. And I don't know why I'm looking at contracts for, because I don't think I want to do any. Since I just did all my farm work. Yeah, there's nothing much there. So yeah, that means the grass fields will need to be fertilized again. But let's just get on to August. I'm not going to go to half day or the end of the day and check the sale page. I think I need to be, like I said, saving up the cash for a production building. Again, the only thing I would buy for sale would be the Tenor windrower and manure spreader, TMR mixer, those type of things. Well, nothing there that we want, so that's fine. And let's see, is our canola field ready? It is. And while we're doing that, let's see what we got here. Fertilizing, no. A mowing contract for $16,000. Yes, please. All right, so we'll get the Mercedes on that. What else we got here? Oh, that's it. So I'll hire a worker for that. This contract will probably take about 45 minutes, being as big as it is. You have a Toyota Tundra or Tundra. I test drove one of those once. So the guy that I usually get our trucks through, which is usually Chevrolet pickup trucks, he opened up a Toyota dealership, and I test drove one of those Tundras. And the first stop we had to make was at the gas station to put some fuel into it. The truck, from the manufacturer, the truck only had like 2.5, 2.7 miles on it. We stopped, put some gas in it, went to start it up, and the engine light, a whole bunch of lights came on, and couldn't put it in drive to get it back to the dealership. They had to tow it back to the dealership. At least we kind of joked about it. He looked at me and says, "So what do you think?" I said, "Yeah, I don't think I'm in the mood for a Toyota Tundra." I guess that thing had a long list of error codes. Probably just a software thing where, there was a glitch in the matrix or whatever. Probably had to do a hard reset of the software or something. Every time I come around the corner and I see that New Holland tractor kind of... It is in front of the spawn area for the stuff for the store, but every time I come around the corner and see that tractor there, I was like, wait, what did I buy and not pick up yet? So we'll switch this back over to just mowing. Not that it matters for a contract, but that's what I do. Yeah, everything looks good. Uh, 52 minutes almost for this mowing contract. Close that so it's not in the way. Let's get back to the yard. That road sign. Oh, those road signs are not... You can't knock over the road signs here? I've been avoiding those road signs. Just glitched right on through it. I'm going to see if I can get over the bridge with this header. I think we can. If I could avoid bringing the trailer down this little ways, that'd be great. Yep, not a problem at all. So again, we're going to be storing this canola, and eventually it will get used in years' times in game, where I finally can afford the oil mill. Or if I want to sell the crop straight up at some point for a little bit of extra cash, if I need it for something, then I might do that. Yield seems pretty good. What is it with these V8s? America. That's what's with it. 'll come back and get that little stalk of canola. Probably get about maybe a liter out of it. $10 miles per gallon. What? No. My V8 truck gets about 20 to 24, depending on what I'm doing with it. And you also would need a V8 engine if you're hauling stuff around, which I used to do quite a bit. Alright, just harvested that one stock, and I don't think I even got a liter out of it. Kind of forgot the ratio for oil, but isn't it like 2 for 1? Just trying to plan for the future when we do start making oil for the mayonnaise. How much canola and how many fields we're going to need. If you're asking what kind of vehicle that we have, it's a Claas. And they make very good combines. Especially when you start not paying attention and you get full and then ruin your crops. So already 25% done with the mowing contract. Yes, whatever. It's considered a combine or a harvester, depending on what part of the world you're from. But what a combine or harvester does is it takes the crop off the field, and then inside this whole mechanism, it'll separate the grain that you want and put it into this tank up here, and the stalk of the plant gets chopped up and comes out the back. So we're going to get a decent amount of canola. But yeah, if I were to convert this over to oil, we're talking less than 10,000 liters of it. Might get the rest of the field into the combine before I need to unload again. Yep, should get it all in. We'll check precision farming just to see if it registered the nitrogen this year. Let's have a look. Yep, field score is 96, so it did record it. Overall score of 94 for a 13% sales bonus. Let's go throw this into the silo. Perfect. I think I'm done with the grain trailer now. Until I need to feed the chickens again somewhere around December. So let me go ahead and park this into the shed. And we'll turn that off. I just need to check something on the other page here. So let me go ahead and do this. And that. And I'll do that. Alrighty. That should be good to go. Okay. All right. Let me go see what our worker's up to. Looks like they're still doing the headlands. But they are 40% cash, and of course also this month we'll have some silage bales to sell. So we'll be pretty close up to $150,000 by the end of the month. So kind of halfway there to 300 grand. Not too bad. But I think that's going to wrap up the stream for today. I'm just not feeling it today. Don't feel myself in the stream. I just feel kind of like my mind just keeps drifting off to some random thoughts here and there. And I also do realize I had something I was planning to do tomorrow morning that I just remembered I'm not going to be home tomorrow, so I need to go take care of something else. So I need to get that done. I don't think there'll be an episode of Shamburgo tomorrow. Again, I was out of town yesterday. Got back much later than I thought. Didn't get a chance to record it yesterday. Don't think I'll get a chance to record it later on tonight. So probably no episodes tomorrow. No stream tomorrow because I'm going to be out of town. So I should be back Thursday streaming. As for what yet, I'm not too sure. Still waiting on updates for the Park Ranger games. There's 2 of them coming out. I do also need to wrap up Roadcraft now that that's fixed. So, yeah, I'll be back streaming Thursday, just not as sure of what I'll be doing just yet. But I'm going to jump out of here. I'm going to raid FS Farmer because he did start streaming since he left here about an hour ago. So if you want to watch some more farming, do tune into FS Farmer because he does have some good content. And I think he uses more mods than I do as well. So if that's your kind of your thing, check it out now. I think he's on Judith Plains, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, if you want some more farming on the live stream, just stick right here, and you'll be redirected over to FS Farmer. So I'm going to, when I end here, you're just going to get redirected right to him. So appreciate you stopping on in today for a little bit of farming. I do apologize. I didn't feel the rhythm today in the whole stream. I don't know. I feel disconnected to myself. So hopefully by Thursday, I'll be back to my weird self. I was probably more weirder today. But anyways, appreciate everyone being here. Have a good Tuesday. Have a good Wednesday. And hopefully I'll see you on Thursday. But until then, have a good one.